It's week 2 of the NFL on EA Sports.
Two teams here, each off to 1-0 starts as this one is underway on EA Sports. Fielded near the back of the end zone. And this will go as a touchback, and they will begin things at the 25. They'll come out throwing here on first down. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. And this is a guy straight out of college. They're not going to try to groom for a year or two. They want him to produce right away.
That's why they took him in the first round. They expect him to be a starter right away and a future all-pro. So they don't have any time to wait for him to come along. They want him to play right now to help this team.
They added a lot of talent to a roster that really needed an infusion of youth. They got a very good infusion of youth.
And they didn't really reach to get...
It's caught inside the 25. And he'll be down deep into Houston territory. A big play that time for the Titans. 55 yards.
Well, partner, that's how you make a long drive suddenly not so long anymore. One big play, and they're already in field goal range with designs on getting more than that.
This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. He had to fight that time. Ran through one tackle, but ultimately he's only going to get back to the line of scrimmage. The free safety roaming all the way up to the line of scrimmage to make that stop.
How about his ability to trust his eyes and figure out it was not a pass play and go fast towards the line of scrimmage in order to make that tackle?
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. Now it's Carson. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit.
Got a man, and it's taken in for a Titans touchdown. A 16-yard touchdown. And the Titans take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive.
The kicker on for the extra point.
They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for. And this touchdown will count. And his kick is good, but flags come in. Looks like we're going to get a roughing call here on the follow-through. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
And he's probably realizing he should have stayed in the end zone as he can open. Only muster a return to the 14-yard line. Watson will bring up the Texans here 1st and 10 at their own 14-yard line. The tackle made by the linebacker, Joe Schobert.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now third down coming up.
And it's third down.
From the gun, here's Watson. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And he is going to have a Texans first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. 16 yards on that one, and also a Texan first down. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line.
Again, the ball carrier.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against.
He's got daylight. He's at the 30. 10. 5. Touchdown, Houston. Auden Tate, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Texans are an extra point away from tying this football game. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Titans coming back onto the field for their second drive. Good drive last time. Really effective passing the football. Do you maybe mix it up, now go to the ground game and surprise the defense a little bit?
I would anticipate the defense may...
Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Ross Blacklock never giving up. He works his way to the QB for a loss of 12.
Well, competition comes up in so many different ways. And right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. How about 5 sacks last week? We just saw their first one of this game.
On second down now, it's Carson. And just not a ton of room to work with. He'll get it to the 15 for a gain of 2.
Down at the 15-yard line. Brings up third down.
Out of the gun now on third down. And that is incomplete.
And this is what you want to see from a defense. Give up an opening drive touchdown, that's fine. But how about them going back out there, recommitting themselves to the task at hand, and forcing a 3 and out, and giving the ball back to their offense.
A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And the Texans with great field position to start this drive as they take over 1st and 10. So now we get set to see Houston for their second drive of the ball game. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown. Now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
Desmond King making the tackle. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Brings up 2nd and 8.
Out of the gun, Watson. Looking for Cooks, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the USC man, Adoree Jackson. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week. 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions quote-unquote go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
The numbers on the ground for Carson last week. 17 carries, 55 yards, and a touchdown.
Well, watching the film, we saw that things clicked pretty well for them in the running game last week. No reason to change in my mind. Continue to try and run the football, give it to them early and often in hopes of breaking down the defense so some bigger gains result as the game goes on.
11 yards there, first down. Here's Carson. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
The ball carrier.
No doubt about it. Really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
And he'll take this for about 4 up to the 46-yard line.
46-yard line. That's a gain of 4. Brings up 3rd and 5.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Able to find Harris, complete. And he will have a Titans first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. These two teams all tied after 1. They'll look to throw here on first down. He sets to fire deep. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
Thus far, they have been able to move the line of scrimmage very well in the running game. Almost felt like they said in the huddle, can you guys pass protect? Let's take a big shot downfield. Didn't get it on that one, but they may come back to it again.
Throwing again here on 2nd down, this time complete. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard. The Titans on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air, and sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. And it's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Tennessee. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. Fielded just outside the goal line. And a good return up past the 30, but was it aided by an illegal block or a hold? Let's see. So holding will scratch off some of that return.
And I know fans get frustrated when they see penalties of this sort on kick returns, but it is difficult to do it right against these moving targets at full speed. Hard to do.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield, incomplete. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes his quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. Well, they'll get the yardage, but they hate to see him take that hit.
You're always trying to cool off a big-time guy throwing the ball, but you have to know when to back off, pull up, and not hit him. There's the penalty.
From the 50, it's Watson. And he's got his man on the out route. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. It's another first down on what will be a gain of 21 yards. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eye.
And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Texans are an extra point away from tying this football game. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him, and you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And we've got a tie game here in a back-and-forth first half.
Fairbairn to kick off for Houston.
This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And that last drive, so effective in the passing game, resulting in the touchdown. Maybe not many people were focused on the trenches. There was good protection there.
Excellent protection. So now defensively, you've almost got to get down to those starters blocks like you're a sprinter. Get lower than those guys on offense and find a way to roar through them or around them to get into the face of the passer.
Easier said than done, though.
Way easier said than done. But they've got to try something because right now they're just cutting them to shreds.
On second down, it's Carson, and he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. The Titans on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
It certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
It'll be a 44-yard punt. The return goes for 8. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And to give this time to the tailback. Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. And all the way down inside the 25 before he's out of bounds.
Man, this is ridiculous, man.
Now, that's one they hate. The ball's got to come all the way back.
So that's an explosive play, a really explosive play that gets wiped out, and they have to start over after the penalty.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. He was trying to get that ball to Auden Tate, but it's going to be 2nd down.
Normally you think the tight end's going to be able to catch the football and handle that contact, but in this case, maybe a little too much target to hit. That one was timed well, incomplete.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Give him 14 on that one and a 1st down.
1st down.
A shotgun snap for Watson. It's brought in left side by Tate. That catch good for only a couple.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he get a good head of steam going.
And his throw's going to be incomplete. Dory Jackson right there, step for step in coverage.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about. And you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent. And that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
And he will get him down a couple yards shy of the 1st down marker. A nice tackle coming up from his free safety spot.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a 1st down.
To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll get 4 there, down to about the 12-yard line. Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game.
And it's third down.
A reminder coming up at halftime. We'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in his second week of the regular season. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
Operating from the gun, Watson. And my goodness, this is incomplete. The Texans tried it, but they come up empty here on 4th. And as a result, it'll be Titan football on the turnover on downs. Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you're called before and realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well.
else.
And maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
They throw again on second down. This one's complete. And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tougher, guys trying to get to the football.
And he'll be corralled right around the 34. The Titans going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
1st and 10 at the 34-yard line.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Back to throw again. He'll get this one complete. That's A.J. Brown. Now Tennessee going to use the second of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. It's complete to Brown, right side. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down. It's his target, the tight end, Mo Alley-Cox. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
1st and 10 at the 31-yard line.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. So on 2nd down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. This from 54 yards away. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go around? And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. Deshaun Watson with his 3rd touchdown pass of this first half. And the Texans are able to show off their quick strike ability. And just before the half ends, the prayer is answered. Defensively, a disaster there.
I know often we're surprised when this actually works. I mean, the excitement level goes way up, but maybe
due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the 3rd quarter. It's the Texans in front, and they're going to get the football first as we are back underway in the 3rd quarter. Taking it about the 1. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. Watson will bring up the Texans here 1st and 10 at their own 26. They'll start the 3rd quarter here on the ground. And he takes this for 3 to the 29. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
The ball carried by
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Watson to throw on 3rd and 1. And Tate's got it. Touchdown, Houston. Deshaun Watson, 4 touchdown passes now in the ball game, and the Texans will extend their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. He's got it as they double up the lead. This one's now 28-14. Scoring summary, 3-play drive, and it results in the Texans finding the end zone. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. That'll be taken about a yard deep. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line, so bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision, loses him about 4 yards. Out come the Titans now. They'll have it first on offense to start the 3rd. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. They run it with Carson, and he'll get this one up to about his 14.
the ball carrier.
2 yards on the pickup. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
They run again with Carson. And a short gain across the 15 to the 17-yard line.
On the carry.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
3rd down.
He'll look to throw. And he took the contact as he was throwing it. And the ball drops incomplete.
Intended for
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. Taking it about the 36. It takes a touchdown-saving tackle to bring him down as he goes 32 yards on the return. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Now they try the right side here. And he struggles to get a yard here, maybe a yard, down to the 31.
23.
Sometimes with the running game, you just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle 3rd. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down. Watson now to throw. Now they go screen. It's complete. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. A pickup of 11 and a Texans 1st down. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. A 14-yard gain there as they look to improve this 14-point lead.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
They'll try to run this one in. And he's in for the score. Touchdown, Texans. A great effort there. His second touchdown of the game, his third on the year. And the Texans will add on to their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
The Titans take over first and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
Here's Tennessee ready to begin this drive offensively. They're down 3 touchdowns to this point, needing to put something together as they have it first and 10. They'll start out on the ground with Carson. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a first down.
First and 10 at the 39-yard line.
This is Carson. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And his throw is incomplete. You and I watched film yesterday, and you told me to watch his feet. Well, for whatever reason, his footwork just looked off on that throw.
And you always love it when an ex-defensive back talks quarterback mechanics, right?
Well, but you're good at it.
Well, I try, all right? I don't know how good I am, but it doesn't take much to tell. His mechanics are off a little bit, exactly what you described. Footwork, that led to the incompletion.
And that one drops incomplete as he got popped as he was throwing it.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on 3rd down.
On is Kern, the punter, to send this one away. A very nice punt that time, but they get 11 back on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's had a good performance, moved the ball effectively on the ground. Of course, he has the 1 touchdown. And got his man complete. And he makes it all the way down to the 31. A huge play there for Houston. 47 yards.
Well, he's definitely a big target out there, listed at 6'4", and he used every one of those extra inches to go up and make that catch.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans.
I'm not sure how much more evidence they need, partner, than to understand that if they don't start to slow him down, it's going to be a long afternoon here at the stadium because he is just shredding them at this point. And let's face it, coming into the game, they knew he would be the focal point of their attack. This is going to take an 11-man unit on the defensive side to start making plays.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Now a handoff here to his running back. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
Joe Schobert on the tackle. A 2-yard gain on the play. And it's 3rd down.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And the Texans are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as they find a way to convert there on 3rd and 1. Back now in Nashville. They've got 3 tight ends here on 1st and goal to add some extra mass. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
Kevin Byard. It's a loss of 1. Brings up 2nd and goal.
They'll try to run this one in. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Texans push further out in front. He's got the hat trick. 3 touchdowns now.
Did you throw yours? Did you throw yours out?
I didn't have mine. You've got yours. You've got one of those Abe Lincoln hats.
Yeah, and that stovepipe is going right out there for a nose for the end zone. 3rd time today. I think he deserves a tip of the cap.
Fairbairn good with the extra point, and that'll increase their lead to 28. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. Fielded near the back of the end zone. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Titans now just about ready to take over. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the
blitz coming, and down he goes. Zach Cunningham coming in hard there on the blitz, and he gets him 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury.
47's the mic. 47's the mic.
And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. Jerry Tillery in there to drop him, and sacks on 1st and 2nd downs now leads to a 3rd and long.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Throw left side going to be taken in by Harris. And he'll be out of bounds up past the 10-yard line. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And they'll need the 39 here for a 1st. This is 3rd down. From the gun, Watson. This is caught. It's Cooks. And he is going to have a Texans 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. 1st down Texans. Watson hooking up with Cooks.
1st down Texans.
And to give this time to the tailback. And a 5-yard gain as he's down inside the 30 to the 28-yard line.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. The Texans on 3rd down. They've been very good, 5 for 7 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. That is caught at the 7. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6.
1st and goal.
They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. A 6-yard touchdown run as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. And let's not forget he had the receiving touchdown earlier. Now a trio of rushing touchdowns. Quite a performance.
Diversification, that's all you can talk about. His ability to do everything leaves him on the field on every down on offense because you can hand it to him as we've seen. What'd you say, 3 rushing touchdowns? And, of course, throw it to him where he's caught 1 as well.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Chris Carson trotting back out there. After some early struggles running the ball, they've really picked it up. Early it just seemed like there were no holes there. Now all of a sudden the holes seem to be there. I don't know if that's just my imagination.
And give them credit that they kept their confidence, because sometimes when you get stuffed big in the running game early, especially for an entire half, it really makes you retreat a little bit, but not this group. They always have the confidence. If they just get their assignments down, they get in sync with their runners, and off they went.
That catch good for only a couple. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. Now, defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete pass that we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game, and that was a big talk, both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them, holding them under 200 today. Normally being a big-bodied receiver plays to their advantage downfield. Go up and make the catch, take the hit, and pick up yardage. But in this case, the hit was timed really well and popped it free from his grasp.
That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Houston set to take over. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
Well, I'm not going to go to the player part, because when I think blowout...
Because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out. And no one wants to go back to those memories. But, you know, when I was calling college football...
The ball popped in the air and intercepted. He's picked off at his own 47. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line.
This interception will go on the record of the quarterback, but as a receiver, you've got to understand where you are in the field. Middle portion, you know it's going to come in hot. Square your body to the quarterback and be ready to make the catch.
And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. Jerry Tillery able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a lot.
And the pressure gets there. He'll go down. It's a sack. And it is going to bring us to the 2-minute warning. So the Titans in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And that's caught inside the 30. A real letdown defensively. That was 3rd and a bundle, but they allow the conversion, letting one go deep for the end zone. And that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big.
And that was a beautiful ball right there as he waited for his tight end to come uncovered in the end zone to give him points for patience as well. Delivered it right where it needed to be for 6 points.
The extra point splits the uprights, and that'll cut the lead down a bit to 28. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fielded right around the 8. Oh, good-looking return set up here. And he's able to get it up close to the 35, but hang on here. Penalty marker down. This one might be going the other way.
What was that run? But I can't go. No, I can't go.
They were trying to create some space to run. They created the penalty.
And you work on it so much. You work on it so hard. But it's tough to simulate game speed in practice. And that often runs you into a penalty.
Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Looking like they're well on their way to a 2-0 start. All smiles right now on that sideline, isn't it?
As well there should be. It's hard to win a game in the NFL. We hear it all the time. We know that it's difficult. But guess who's smiling? But inside is thinking 24-hour rule because we're going to have to play again next week.
Boss man.
Oh, without a doubt. The head coach, he wants them to feel good, but at the same time, find a way to keep improving.
21. Kaimi Fairbairn to kick off.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away.
Fielded near the back of the end zone. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25.
And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now. And if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one. That's complete into the hands of Carson. The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a 2nd and long. That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. So they elect to decline it.
And why not? Just go ahead and let the play stand, and they'll take that.
It'll be a 3-yard gain, and that'll make it 3rd down. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. He's going to let it fly into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Gary and Conley. The utter domination here just continues. This defense, I don't know what more we can say all around about their performance.
Well, it certainly feels in this game like maybe they're facing a Canadian defense. 12 guys on the field. It feels like there's an extra on every snap because they have really struggled to make headway through the air.
Now a good running play here to start the drive. That'll net them 14 yards as they pick up the first.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback,